If you have lived in Florida your entire life, you have probably never felt an earthquake. Not a tremor, not a rattle, not a picture shifting on the wall. That is not luck. It is geology, and understanding it explains why the Florida building code is built almost entirely around wind rather than seismic design, and why the ground hazard Floridians should actually be thinking about is not an earthquake at all. Where Florida sits on the tectonic map. The Earth's crust is divided into approximately a dozen major tectonic plates, rigid sections that move relative to each other, generating earthquakes where they collide, separate, or grind past one another. Florida sits near the center of the North American plate, far from any active edge. The nearest plate boundary is the Puerto Rico Trench, approximately 1,000 miles to the southeast, a subduction zone where the North American plate slides beneath the Caribbean plate. The San Andreas Fault in California, where the Pacific and North American plates grind laterally past each other, is more than 2,500 miles away. Florida has no active fault lines. It is not near a plate boundary of any kind. Florida's limestone foundation. Florida does not sit on the hard, crystalline bedrock that underlies most of the eastern United States. The entire peninsula is built on the Florida Platform, an ancient accumulation of marine limestone and dolostone that formed when South Florida was covered by a shallow tropical sea approximately 25 to 100 million years ago. Limestone is porous, layered, and relatively soft. Seismic waves traveling through limestone attenuate, lose energy, more rapidly than waves moving through granite or metamorphic rock. The foundation beneath Florida is a poor conductor of earthquake energy, and the same porosity that weakens seismic transmission also allows water to move through it, dissolving the rock from below, which matters significantly later in this video. Florida's seismic record, not zero, but close. Florida is not completely seismically inert. The USGS records occasional minor events, concentrated mainly in the northwestern panhandle, which sits closer to the New Madrid seismic zone, a major intraplate zone centered beneath Missouri, Arkansas, and Tennessee. In 1886, a magnitude 7.0 earthquake centered in Charleston, South Carolina, the largest recorded earthquake in the eastern United States, was felt throughout Florida. The strongest earthquake with an epicenter in Florida itself measured approximately magnitude 3.0. For reference, magnitude 3.0 is typically felt near the epicenter, but causes no structural damage. Some seismic instrument readings in Florida are not earthquakes at all. They are sinkhole collapse events registering on instruments. What ASCE 7-22 says about Florida structures. The structural basis of the Florida Building Code, ASCE 7-22, assigns every location in the United States a seismic design category from A through F based on ground motion values and building occupancy. Category A is the lowest risk. Category F is the highest. Most of Florida is seismic design category A or B. California's most active regions are category D, E, or F. In practice, Category A requires almost no seismic-specific structural provisions, no moment frames, no base isolation, no special ductile connections. Florida structures are designed to 150-mile-per-hour wind loads and seismic design Category A simultaneously. One of those two parameters controls every structural decision made in Florida construction. It is not the seismic category. California versus Florida, two entirely different codes for two entirely different threats. In California, structural engineers design moment-resisting frames, shear walls, and base isolation systems to absorb seismic energy. Structures engineered to flex without failing as the ground moves beneath them. In Florida, structural engineers design hurricane straps at every rafter, ring shank nails in roof sheathing, impact-rated glazing, and elevated foundations in flood zones. Structures engineered to hold together as wind tries to separate every connection simultaneously. Same profession, same physics principles, Completely different threat parameters. Florida's actual ground hazard: sinkholes. The same porous limestone that makes Florida nearly earthquake-proof creates its real ground hazard. The Floridan aquifer system, the limestone formation beneath the peninsula, dissolves slowly in mildly acidic groundwater, a natural process called karst dissolution. When enough material dissolves below the surface, the ground above collapses without warning. Florida leads the United States in sinkhole frequency. Hillsborough, Hernando, Pasco, and Pinellas counties sit in what geologists call Sinkhole Alley, the highest sinkhole concentration in the state. Florida Statute Section 627.706 mandates sinkhole coverage under most residential policies, precisely because the ground here does not shake. It disappears. The FBC reflects the geology. The Florida Building Code has no significant seismic chapter driving residential construction decisions. It has extensive wind uplift provisions, hurricane strap requirements, impact window ratings, secondary water barrier mandates, and flood elevation requirements. The code is a direct expression of the physics the state actually faces. California engineers for the ground moving beneath the structure. Florida engineers for the wind removing the structure from the ground, and the ground dissolving beneath it. Those are the right threats, built into the right codes, for the right geological reasons. The ground in Florida is not going to shake, but it can disappear, and the wind above it is trying to remove everything sitting on it every hurricane season. The code knows the difference. Share this with anyone who has ever wondered why Florida doesn't have earthquakes. Subscribe for more Florida Building Code in plain language.